My beloved soul, allow peace to fill every corner of your heart. I call you to a moment of stillness, a sacred instant that I myself have created for this encounter of ours. I feel your unrest. I feel the racing of your pulse, the shortness of your breath, the storm of thoughts that stirs the waters of your soul. You have been navigating a turbulent sea, trying to keep your small boat upright amidst the waves of worry, fear, and uncertainty. You row with the strength you have left, but exhaustion has already settled into your arms and your spirit. You look at the dark clouds on the horizon, a loved one's health, financial instability, the loneliness that haunts you, the future that seems so hazy, and your heart tightens. You cry out to me for help, for a safe harbor, and perhaps the noise of the storm around you has made you doubt if I have heard your call. What I am about to reveal to you can transform your life, because I am not in a distant lighthouse, watching your struggle. I am in the boat with you, and my word to you in this very moment is not a promise for the future. It is an action in your present. I am now calming your heart, not tomorrow, not when the storm passes, but here now, in the midst of the waves. Your panic does not surprise me. Your anxiety does not push me away. On the contrary, your brokenness is the invitation that my power of peace was waiting to accept. You no longer have to fight alone. In fact, you no longer have to fight at all. Your part from this moment on is to let go of the oars, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to receive the calm that I am breathing over your being. Before continuing the message, write this word of faith in the comments. I receive the peace of God that calms my soul. By doing this, you are opening the floodgates of your heart so that the river of my serenity can enter and extinguish the fire of your affliction. Now, continuing the message, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Feel, don't think. Just feel my presence wrapping you like a warm, safe blanket. The storm outside may still be roaring, but here inside the boat, where I am with you, a new atmosphere is being established. The atmosphere of heaven. The atmosphere of peace, my precious soul. For my peace to settle permanently in your heart, you need to understand what has been fueling your inner storm. Your anxiety is not born primarily from your circumstances, but from your attempt to control them. You have been the captain, the navigator, and the crew of your boat, all at the same time. You try to predict the direction of the wind, calculate the height of the waves, row against the current. And it is an exhausting job because the ocean of life is too big for your hands. You have been trying to be your own God, and the result is burnout. Your heart is restless because you are carrying a burden I never asked you to carry, the burden of control. You subtly believe that if you don't worry, no one will, that if you don't plan every detail, everything will fall apart, that your anxiety is a form of care, of responsibility. But I tell you that your anxiety is, in fact, a barrier to my intervention. While you grip the helm with hands white from tension, you prevent me from taking the lead and guiding you to the safe harbor. My peace cannot coexist with your need for control. One must yield to the other. And today I call you to a surrender. Not a surrender of defeat, but a surrender of wisdom. The wisdom to recognize that there is a captain in this boat who knows the seas much better than you do. A captain who not only knows the route, but who commands the winds and the waves. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, I trust in the Lord. Let this be your prayer of surrender, your act of letting go of the helm. It is you saying, Father, I can't anymore, take control. My life, my boat, my storm, it's all yours. This is the moment of your greatest liberation. If this message has touched your heart and you wish to support this mission, click Super Thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Continuing, every time your mind, out of habit, tries to go back to the helm, gently bring it back. Remind yourself, I am no longer the captain. I am the beloved passenger under the care of the best captain there is. And then, take a deep breath and rest. You will find that the boat sails much better and with much more peace when you are not in command. My blessed soul, the second thief of your peace is the storm that rages within your mind. You might let go of control over external circumstances, but your mind continues to create its own waves of what if. What if the diagnosis is the worst? What if I can't pay the bills? What if that person leaves me? Your imagination, which I gave you as a tool to dream and to create, has been hijacked by fear and used to build disaster scenarios. Your mind has become a movie theater that endlessly plays horror films about your future, and your heart reacts to each of these films as if they were real. My peace cannot flourish in a mental terrain that is constantly being flooded by thoughts of fear. Therefore, the work of calming your heart also involves the discipline of guarding your mind. I am not asking you to silence every negative thought by your own strength. That would be an exhausting and losing battle. I offer you a different strategy, a much more powerful one, the strategy of replacement. You do not fight darkness, you turn on the light. When a thought of fear comes, do not argue with it. Do not try to rationalize it. Simply, deliberately, replace it with one of my truths. When the thought, "What if I get sick?" comes, replace it with the declaration, "My God is my healer, and by his wounds I am healed." When the thought, "What if I run out?" comes, replace it with, "My God will supply all my needs according to his riches in glory." I, your God, am sending you a special sign. The sign you have been waiting for is in this verse, Philippians 4:7, which says, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." My peace is a guard, a sentinel posted at the door of your mind and your heart. But you need to give it permission and the weapons to fight. And the weapons are my promises. Write in the comments, "I receive this message and I am blessed." And send love and protection to the person you love, declaring that the peace of God is also guarding their mind and heart. If this message has touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light. Before continuing, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now. By subscribing, you will receive a daily supply of truth ammunition to guard your mind. Now, continuing the message. This practice of replacement will require effort at first, but over time, it will become a habit. You will retrain your mind. Instead of a horror movie theater, it will become an art gallery of my promises. And in a mind filled with my truth, anxiety simply finds no room to grow. My beloved soul, for your heart to be truly calmed, we need to deal with the storms of the past that are still sending waves into your present. Unforgiveness, both toward others and toward yourself, is an anchor that keeps you chained to old tempests, preventing your boat from finding the calm waters of my peace. The resentment you hold for those who have hurt you is an open wound in your heart. And every time the memory of the offense comes to mind, the wound bleeds again, and your peace is stolen. You cannot have a calm heart if it is in a constant state of inflammation from bitterness. Forgiving is not a favor you do for your offender. It is the cleansing surgery you allow in your own heart. It is you saying, "I refuse to allow someone else's mistake to continue to dictate my emotional state today. I hand this pain and this debt over to you, my God, and I choose healing. I choose peace. Today is the day to cut this anchor, to release this chain, and self-condemnation for your own mistakes is another self-inflicted storm. You replay your failures in your mind, whipping yourself with guilt for things I have already forgiven and forgotten. Every thought of guilt is a wave of turmoil that agitates your soul. My daughter, hear my voice of absolution. The price for your mistakes has already been paid, in full. My grace has already covered you. Insisting on punishing yourself is like trying to pay a debt that has already been settled. It is useless and exhausting. Receive my forgiveness and extend that same grace to yourself. Look at the woman you were with compassion, not condemnation. She did the best she could, and she brought you here. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you would like to forgive. Visualize each one, send them love and say, "I forgive you and I release you." May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. This is your act of calming the storms of the past. By doing this, you are emptying the dark clouds from your memory. You are smoothing the waters of your soul. And a heart that has been forgiven and forgives is like a serene lake, able to perfectly reflect the beauty of the sky and the light of my presence. My precious soul, Now that we are clearing away the sources of turmoil, let me explain to you the nature of the peace I am pouring over you. It is not a fragile, circumstantial peace. It is not the calm that depends on the absence of wind. My peace is of a different quality. It is the peace of the eye of the hurricane. In the middle of the most violent storm, there is a central point of absolute stillness. The wind may howl all around, debris may fly, but in the eye of the hurricane, there is a supernatural calm. I am your center. I am your eye of the hurricane. The secret to a life of peace is not avoiding storms, for they will come, but learning to dwell in this center of stillness that is me, who lives in you. Your emotions, your mind, your circumstances, all of these are the outer part of the hurricane. They are loud and turbulent, but your spirit, where I dwell, is the center of peace. Your task is to learn to withdraw from the noisy periphery to the silent center of your own being. How is this done? Through the practice of presence. At every moment of agitation, instead of letting yourself be carried away by the centrifugal force of anxiety that throws you outward, make the opposite move. Stop, breathe, and turn your attention inward, to your spirit, to my presence in you. Simply say, Father, I take refuge in you now. You are my peace. This inner movement of retreating to the center is your most powerful act of faith. It may last only a few seconds, but it is enough to reconnect you to your source of calm. And from this center, you can observe the outer storm without being swept away by it. You see it, but you are not it. You feel it, but you do not identify with it. Your peace is no longer a feeling that comes and goes. It becomes your identity, your dwelling place. You no longer seek peace. You live from peace. And this peace, which the world cannot give or take away, becomes your rock, your fortress, your constant in a world of inconstancy. My blessed soul, this peace you are receiving and learning to cultivate is not a treasure to be selfishly guarded. It has an expansive purpose. Your peace will become your greatest ministry. In a world that is sick with anxiety, a woman who walks in supernatural peace is a walking remedy. Your presence, even before you say a word, will begin to change atmospheres. People, without knowing why, will feel calmer around you. Your home, which might have been a place of tension, will become an oasis of serenity. Your peace will not be passive. It will be an active force that drives out unrest and fear. You will become a thermostat, not a thermometer. You will no longer reflect the anxious temperature of the environment. You will set the temperature of my peace wherever you go. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, they will come to you in their moments of crisis, not because you have all the solutions, but because they know that in your presence, they will find a safe harbor, a calm that will help them think clearly. You will become the embodiment of my promise of rest for the weary. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple, Lord, may your peace in me be a river that reaches and heals many hearts, is a prayer that aligns your gift with my redemptive purpose. What begins today as my work of calming your heart will become, tomorrow, my work of calming many hearts. Through you, I am not just giving you peace, I am anointing you as a peacemaker, an ambassador of my kingdom of tranquility. Your greatest contribution to the world will not be what you do, but the peace that you are. And this is a legacy of eternal value. My precious soul, for this peace to become your constant reality, it must be cultivated. And the primary tool for cultivation is gratitude. Gratitude is what keeps your focus on my goodness and not on your problems. It is what keeps your mind in the lighthouse and not in the boat. I want you to begin today a new discipline, the peace treasure hunt. Each day, your mission will be to find and write down at least 3 moments of peace. 3 pieces of evidence of my presence calming your life. It could be something grand, like an answered prayer, but more often, it will be small things. The beauty of a sunbeam coming through the window, the taste of a hot cup of tea, the sound of a loved one's laughter, a word of encouragement you received, the absence of an ache that was bothering you. By training your mind to look for these treasures of peace, you will change your brain chemistry and your spiritual disposition. You will cease to be a problem hunter and become a blessing collector. And what you focus on expands. The more you give thanks for peace, the more peace you will experience. Your gratitude is a magnet for my presence. It creates an atmosphere in your heart where anxiety simply cannot thrive. The second practice is worship. Worship is your act of warfare against anxiety. When the wave of worry comes, instead of giving into it, lift your voice in praise. Put on a worship song. Sing, even if your voice trembles. Declare my greatness, my sovereignty, my faithfulness. Worship lifts you above the storm. It transports you to my throne room, from where all your problems look very, very small. Worship doesn't change your circumstance. It changes you, which, in turn, gives you power over your circumstance. Gratitude and worship, these are your two wings. With them, you will no longer be dragged down by the waves of life. You will fly above them, in a place of calm, power, and beauty. My beloved soul, we have come to the end of our time of intervention and to the beginning of your new life of peace. My word has been released. My peace has been poured out. Your heart, which came to this conversation agitated and turbulent, now begins to find its stillness. Together we identified the root of your anxiety in control, noise, and unforgiveness. We redefined peace not as a destination, but as my presence in you, your center of calm. You understood your calling to be a peace bearer and received the tools of gratitude and worship to cultivate your inner garden. Now, the storm may not have completely ceased on the outside, but a great calm has begun on the inside. And that is the only one that matters. On my part, I promise you, my peace I have already given you. It is yours. It is an inheritance. I will continue to be your center of stillness, your fortress, your refuge. Every time you turn to me, you will find me waiting to calm your heart again. Your part, my daughter, is simply to choose. It is to practice returning to the center. It is to use the tools I have given you. It is to refuse to hand the helm of your life back over to anxiety. It is to live from this day forward, not as a victim of the storm, but as the beloved daughter of the master of the storm. Leave this time with me and take a deep breath. Feel the air. It's different. It's lighter. It is the air of my kingdom. It is the air of peace. Let it fill not only your lungs, but every cell of your body, every corner of your soul. Your search for peace has ended. Your dwelling in peace begins now. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, guards my heart." Share your experiences in the comments about how this message helped you feel God's peace today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more faith-based content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.